Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Candace if you are new here. And if you are a returning loyal subscriber, thank you so much for tuning into my channel again. You are a real one. In today's video, I'm going to be doing my makeup and getting ready for an IG live event that I have coming up very quickly. So this is going to have to move a little bit more quickly, but I really want to get on here and just chit chat with you guys like I used to like to do. I haven't done it in a while, so I'm going to start a new series on my channel, and it's just going to be like, let's talk about X, Y, and Z. So today we're going to be talking about toxic productivity. I don't know if you guys have heard the term before, and I don't even know if I've heard the term before in that way, but productivity can be toxic, and I wanted to break it down in today's video. So I got the edges baking, the bun, it's not anything fancy, but if you're gonna do a bun, the least you could do is make sure that the edges are on point. And I already have my face nice and primed, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with some foundation, and everything will be linked down in the description box that I'm using because I don't necessarily have the time to show everything. But yes, everything is going to be linked down below for you guys. We're going to start these talks off with a actual definition. So by definition, toxic productivity is a outsized desire to be productive at all times at the expense of other priorities or other hobbies and things like that. So outsized meaning like a oversized or a large desire to constantly be productive. Hold on, let me spray my spray. And honestly, it's toxic AF. I don't want to really be cursing on here like that. And I guess I'll start off with my personal experience, but it was getting to the point for me where if I wasn't doing something, I felt useless. I felt like, why am I here if I'm not going to be constantly working at something or doing something? I'm wasting my life away. And that could be from watching a TV show or taking a nap or just resting or doing anything. I would feel guilty, like just this extreme guilt. And for me personally, I dated back to when I was young. I don't know about y'all's parents, but it doesn't matter if I was on like in school or on Christmas break or whatever the case may be. If my mom came home and I wasn't doing anything, it's like, what, you're just sitting down and like not being productive. Why didn't you do this? Why don't you clean the house? There's something that you could be doing. There's always something that you could be doing. I can hear my mom saying that. So like when we would hear the garage come up, it's like everybody's scattering to try and find something to do, just because it's like you can't just be sitting around. That's lazy, that's unproductive, it's unattractive or undesirable to not be doing something at all times. So I found myself even like living on my own, I still feel that way, and it's taking a lot of time to kind of like break that down to it's like you can sit down for a second. You don't have to constantly be doing something in order for you to not be lazy, and in order for you to be somebody that's considered successful or somebody that is considered a valuable member of society, essentially. So that's something that I'm really working through on my own. If y'all's childhood was similar, then let me know down in the comments. And now what I'm seeing in like social media and stuff is people constantly feeling the need to capitalize on everything. Everything is a moment to be productive, especially because I follow a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of content creators, because that is the field that I'm in. So naturally I follow a lot of people, and it's always trying to like use everything as an opportunity to work. And I feel like the only way that productivity, I think for a lot of people, is seen as true productivity is when it's related to a bag. It's related to money. So if I'm on vacation, I'm a content creator, I gotta get this bag, I gotta record the whole thing. If I am out with my friends, every opportunity is an opportunity to get to the bag because that is productivity. But it's not always productive to be on the clock, especially when you're an entrepreneur, because you have all this time to fill and you have like control over your schedule, what you do and what you lend your time to. So it's very easy to fill all of that with something that is quote unquote productive, something that's going to get you closer to a bag, a bigger bag. How can I be better for a bag? Everything is related to a bag, and everything is related to success in a capitalistic view. And I personally am trying to resist being a part of that. I really am trying to resist and find a balance for myself. That's why I go missing so often, because I refuse to put my entire value as a person on a bag, or on numbers, on followers, on any type of numbers. Anything that's a number, I do not want to equate my value to it, because it's a very slippery slope and it doesn't really truly bring you happiness. So I see a lot of talk about people bettering themselves and self-help and this and that, but it's always tied to how can I advance myself in life from a status kind of view. And that's not necessarily what's always important. Sometimes it is very important to prioritize not doing the damn thing. That's productive for me sometimes. Sometimes it's productive for me to shut my mind off and not think about anything but where I'm at in this current moment. Whether it's eating some popcorn, eating some cereal, like whether it doesn't matter what it is, whether I'm cleaning up or whatever the case may be, sometimes it is productive for me to do that for myself, productive for my life. It's not productive for a bag, at least short term, because the better that I am as a person, the more well-rounded that I am, the more healthy and sound and grounded I am, the more bandwidth I have to give to the thing that may get me closer to a bag. But that's not the immediate result. And sometimes you have to think more long term. Certain stuff isn't sustainable, and I want to be a sustainable person. I want my happiness to be sustainable. I don't want it to just be tied to things that come and go. I also think social media has made it really, really hard to sit in your own timeline and to just be where you need to be, because I might personally be feeling okay with resting and like, okay, this is my downtime. This is like, I need to rejuvenate. I need to recuperate. I need to rest. And then I'll hop on social media and see somebody else in their grind mode. And that may make me question my rest mode, because I see somebody else in their grind mode. But that's not where I need to be right now. That's not where you need to be. Just because you see somebody just on vacation and taking a break doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you need to do. Maybe you need to be capitalizing on the creative juices that are flowing. Maybe, whatever the case may be, you have to know what's best for you. And it's really, really hard when you're watching people's lives so hard, bro. I feel like I'm always like talking shit about social media, but it's really unhealthy. And I think I can acknowledge that it is beneficial in a lot of ways, but I can also acknowledge that it's not healthy. I'm not going to just say like social media is great because there's a potential to make money from it. So now I'm going to give y'all some tips on what I've been doing to not fall into toxic productivity. Number one is to schedule out your rest and decide from early that you are going to have some sort of self-care practice or take a break or whatever the case may be. I think that makes it a little bit less guilty when you decide that you are going to do it ahead of time. So if it's like, okay, tomorrow this is my schedule, work it into what your schedule is. Do not forget about your downtime when you are planning your days and you're planning your weeks. Whether you work a traditional job and you're planning your off time, whatever the case may be, or you're an entrepreneur and you're planning your days, make sure that self-care is involved in that. Because when you jam your schedule full of productive things, then you decide that you want to take a nap in the beginning, it may be hard to honor that in the moment because you didn't plan for it. So if you have a hard time like giving yourself that grace in the moment, plan it ahead of time. My next tip would be to just change your thinking around productivity. Change your view of it. And when you associate productivity with anything that makes you feel good, that fills you up, that pushes you forward in any capacity, not just career-wise, not just financially. When you relate productivity to anything that is good for your well-being, I feel like it's much easier to live a balanced life that isn't based on grind culture, that isn't based on running yourself to the ground in order to achieve success. And that also goes for the word success. All these words that relate traditionally to finances and to where you're at in life status wise, change the connotation in your mind to just be more holistic. So personally, when I'm editing, I have a hard time taking a break from editing. Editing videos takes a long time, and sometimes I just want to sit there and like get it done. But I'm not drinking no water, I'm not eating, my stomach is growling, I'm holding my freaking pee because I don't want to stop and take a break and go use the bathroom. Craziness. It's crazy, but when you get into that mode, sometimes it's hard to snap out of it and do the things that you need to do for yourself. And for me, being successful means drinking water. Like, it means taking a break, getting up, disconnecting from the computer screen, and going to take care of my body. That is what's going to make me successful, because not only is that going to keep me and my body well, it's going to add a balance to my life that I need. Because when I start to go into overdrive like that, I don't want to make another video or edit another video for months because I'm burnt out, and I didn't need to be. Like, I didn't need to do that to myself. I just decided to do that to myself because there's this silent pressure that I put on myself. Ooh, let's talk about silent pressure. That is really the cause of a lot of toxic productivity. It's not even because somebody's telling you that you need to do all these things. It's because you are putting all of this pressure on yourself to run yourself into the ground. You do not need to do that. What God has planned for you, I'm about to start crying, but I'm not going to do it. What God has planned for you is not going to just be snatched from you because you take a break. It's not going anywhere. God's plan for you is not going anywhere. And as long as you're working towards it, working towards something does not mean that you have to rob yourself of anything that is fun, that is light, that is restful, that is easeful. You can also have a successful life that is easeful, and that's what I'm trying to remind myself of. Some people want to run, but if that's not you, redefine what productivity means for you, so you don't constantly compare yourself to those people that it works for. It works for some people. It doesn't work for me, and it may not work for you. So define what that looks like for you. And I think that's my last tip. Uh-oh, this is getting dry. My last tip is to do the work on yourself so you don't have to tie external validation or external achievements or accomplishments and accolades to your worth. And I think when you do that, you will allow yourself to just be, because you realize that by just being, you are enough. I think when I wanted to go and burn myself out, it's because that's the only way that I felt valuable. And now I'm still working on it, but I allow myself to enjoy life and to just be, because that is where my worth is. My worth isn't anywhere else. It is not on this camera. It's not on Instagram. It's not anywhere. My worth is in here. And I think when you realize that, like, by just being here and by just being you, that's what life is about. And you can make up your life of a lot of other beautiful things, and working and making a difference, and all those things are really, really beautiful and really necessary. We do need something to work towards, but that is not your entire identity. And doing the work to really believe that is one thing to say it, but it's another thing to believe it. And yeah. But I need to hurry up and finish, so I'm about to finish up my brows, put some lashes on, and I'll be back with the recap and a final affirmation for you guys around this topic, so I'll see you in a second. Okay, makeup is done, and my live is in about 20 minutes, so I'm going to make this quick. The affirmation that I'm going to leave y'all around toxic productivity is, I choose rest because my output is not more important than my stillness. And that's actually not mine. I'm going to repeat it one more time. I choose rest because my output is not more important than my stillness. I actually got that from a content creator. Her name is Amani, and I'll leave her information down below. She is actually one of the content creators for my brand Everything She Is Co. If you have not checked out my brand Everything She Is Co., please check it out. It's all about self-love and self-care and getting closer to yourself and understanding your needs better. And yeah, she really spazzed on that one. I really, really love that. Your stillness is important. And I'll also add that your output does not determine your worth. So if you are in a space where you are not necessarily pushing things out, that is okay. It's okay, because you also deserve stillness. You deserve to be in your body and to just be. And I do want to acknowledge that in some ways I'm speaking from a place of privilege, because there are people that are literally grinding to survive, and I understand that. And I think what I'm trying to get at is that once we get out of that survival mode, we don't need to live there forever. At some point it is beneficial, because you need to grind, you need to really do what you need to do, unfortunately, in this society, in order to survive, in order to feed yourself, in order to feed your family if you have one. I just want for us as a community to be able to break out of that once it's not needed anymore. Once we're not in that survival mode. Some people are living in survival mode their whole life, regardless of what they accomplish and where they reach in life, and it's not necessary. You can take time for yourself, and life isn't going anywhere. So I thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any more suggestions for Let's Talk topics, then let me know in the comment box below. And I also want to know what your thoughts are on toxic productivity. Is it something that you've experienced? Do you feel like it exists? What is your perspective? I would love to talk about it in the comments. Also, slight plug, if you have not gotten a self-love workbook, I highly recommend it for anybody that is on their self-love journey and don't know where to start, that really just wants to get closer to themselves and learn more about yourself and dig deep. This is a great resource. It kind of packages up all of the exercises and everything that you may need to dig deeper without you having to do any extra work outside of, you know, the internal work. So make sure you guys check this out. It is at everythingsheis.co. I'll leave the link down in the description box, and make sure you subscribe to my channel as well for more content. And for real this time, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.